Hey guys, what is going on? Sharp Thinking here. I wanted to do a top 5 favorite knives of all time video. Yes, I know I did one not too long ago where I talked about, what was it? I guess that was almost 6 months ago now. Top 5 favorite knives made in the US. Well, I don't own any knives that aren't made in the US, so it's going to be not a redundant video. Because now the knives have a little bit of merit and I've owned them a lot longer, but it will be similar to that video. Now, this knife almost made the list. It didn't for a few reasons. Well, I'm not going to get into that now, but it is a great knife. This thing has blown me away. It's absolutely amazing. Super thin behind the edge. I love that blade shape. It's kind of like a Warcom, the Socom that Tony Marfione makes. I think it's only available in a custom at the moment, so kind of out of reach for me currently, but maybe one day. Very cool knife, but it's not what this video is about. It's going to be about my top 5 of all time. Now, this first knife I've owned, I don't know, maybe 15 of. And I got my first Spyderco military when I was 15, I want to say, maybe 14. Actually, it could have been 13. But yes, this was my first high-end knife, and I guess I picked the right one back then because I still own it, still love it. I don't carry it as often as I would like, but in my opinion, it is one of the best knives in the price range. I really wish they would do more sprint runs of this knife. Couple things I like: blade, nice long blade, good for, around the house tasks, including, well, I use it kind of as like a cardboard destroyer, as people say, but yeah, it's got that big long blade, flat grind. It's reasonably thin behind the edge. It's not super thin like some of the Microtechs. This guy is probably about half as thin behind the edge, just for reference. But it has one of the most comfortable handles from Spyderco, and it has this amazing liner lock, which a lot of people don't know about the failsafe liner lock. They're just phenomenal. Maybe I'll make a video talking about them in the future, but I think I touched on it in my review of this knife. But yeah, that's going to be number 1. Number 2 is going to be my first mid-tech, or that's what they used to call them back when I was getting into knives. The Hinderer XM18. I love this knife. I have a few of them. This one is a 3V Monkey's Edge frag, which is complete tactical Gucci operator status gear. And then these two are just standard production XM18s. This one is a skinny. I highly recommend the skinny. And the not non-choil. What is this? Non-flipper. There we go. But yeah, I just got this guy. This version, at least. I've been carrying the XM18 for, I think, almost 2 years. Probably closer to a year and 6 months. But that's still a long time to be carrying the same knife design and not taking a break from it. It is not a perfect knife, as, I've stated multiple times before. None of these knives are perfect. But it is exceptional. This I got from Steve. These usually go for $800 on the secondary market. Super Steel Steve sold me this one for $300, and it was given the Steve treatment. It is beat up. You can see 100% lockup, no play. Oh, a little bit of play. And I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get this warranted, but I don't know. Not a big deal. Next up, my first CRK was the Zon, and it has remained in my favorite knife of all time. This is my #1 knife. Like, this thing is nuts. When I first got it, I was so unimpressed. I was disappointed. I was like, I wasted, you know, 400 whatever, and I just didn't get it until I put it in my pocket and I started to use it, and it became immediately apparent to me why CRKs are as highly spoken of as they are. I mean, this knife is insane, and through all the sharpening that I put my last one through, and this one, it remains thin behind the edge due to that hollow grind. The handle is ergonomic. This tab is a little odd, but if you get used to it, it isn't really a problem. It's just, that's initially what threw me off, was this kind of groove right here with that tab. So just from looking at the knife, you want to grab it here, but then when you grab it right there, that tab digs into your finger. So you have to grab it up here, which actually gives you quite a bit of control and leverage when you're cutting. But yeah, this is just a phenomenal knife. The weird, what do you call those? Why can't I remember? God, I don't know. It's got like a quiet close and open feature. Kind of interesting. You don't need these little, what are they? Why do I not know what these are called? What are these? These rings. These O-rings. Yeah, there you go. You don't need them on the knife for it to work, but the knife is loud as fuck without them. So, yeah. I get actually a surprising number of questions about the O-rings on the Zon. So, yep. Still works without them, but it's just loud. And then, next up, Microtech Socom. This knife is nuts. It is so close to being perfect, if only they nailed the heat treat. Most of these Socoms have kind of a subpar heat treat, which is unfortunate because of how much effort and work goes into the rest of the knife. The design has been around since 1997, which is literally the year I was born. So it's been kicking around for a long time. And for good reason, you know. If a design isn't great, it tends to disappear. And you'll see that a lot, especially if you're in the gun community, knife community, quite often. Sometimes a design will be around for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then poof, it's gone. Doesn't sell, people don't like it, but these just keep selling. And I mean, you don't have to really wonder why. It's an extremely well-made knife for the money. These are $150 cheaper than the Zon, and I like them almost about the same as the Zon. The only thing holding me back is that heat treat. It's not very good, but super thin behind the edge. Handle, ergonomic. The liner lock is closer to a frame lock than a liner lock. I know the difference is obviously the frame, but it's very thick. That's what I'm getting at. And super smooth. It's got bearings, which is not my favorite, but, you know, it works. I've abused a lot of Socoms. I've owned, I think, 4, and now I have 2 or 5 maybe. But great knife if you're into knives with like snappy actions. The Socom is pretty incredible when it comes to that. It's got a nice detent, centered. Yeah, not much to dislike about this knife. I've heard people say, oh, well, it's only aluminum. The amount of milling that went into this is immense. It's, I mean, I cannot even imagine how they figured out how to do all this. I mean, I'm not super smart, but I don't know, maybe they are. Well, clearly they are. Yeah, I'm not a machinist of any kind. That's kind of why I don't really care about, you know, the fancy, you know, Grimsmo and all that shit, like the Holt Spectre. Is that what it's called? The Holt Spectre? Yeah, something like that. I have no fucking clue. But anyway, on to the next. This guy made it in just barely over the sigil. So I prefer the Zahn in almost every way to the Sebenza. I don't know why. Okay, so I have some reasons, but a lot of it is just the feel of the knife. And I think it boils down to me getting the Zahn in hand first, and that being my first exposure to CRK. I think had I gotten this knife in hand first, this might be my favorite. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys can understand what I'm saying, but it makes sense to me. Not that that means much. But yeah, this is a great knife. It'll last a lifetime. That's kind of why I threw it in, is really the theme here is you could get any of these knives and they would last you a lifetime with you just owning that one. They're phenomenal. Like the cutting performance out of this guy, very thin behind the edge. It has the hollow grind that is like similar to what the Zahn has. Just the feel, the build quality, everything is amazing. Comfortable, flat back design on the handle. It's just a tool. It's a very beautiful tool, but it is pretty much just a bare bones tool. No bearings, no snappy flipper tabs or anything. But still very impressive. So yeah, guys, that is my top 5. This is probably going to be the last knife video I do for a while. I have a bunch of lights to do content with, or to make videos about. Jeez, my language. Every video I make, it's like I'm good for about 10 minutes, and then shit goes downhill. So I'm going to end the video here. I am going to be doing gun content pretty soon. I'm going to take this off, this Olight. Someone sent me this to destroy. Yeah, so handgun videos, rifle videos. If you're into Gucci gear like Noveski, LMT, Knights Armament, I've a 14.5 Knights Armament coming soon. NFA items, suppressors, stuff like that. I will be doing content on all of that stuff. So, yeah, stay tuned. Olight destruction test, where I put these guys up against my personal favorite company as far as lights go, Surefire. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.